This is going to be an awesome show. You have to watch this because if you need to be inspired, if you know community leaders in your neighborhood that are really making a difference and you wish that they would be highlighted, you wish you could know more about them, these next three guests are going to make you smile. They're probably going to make you want to do something and get involved if you're not already doing that. They are pandemic change makers. Some of my favorite people in the entire world. Roshell Powdar. She has been feeding moms and dads on buses, MTA buses. When we posted this on Instagram, you went bananas because you said, why isn't the city doing this already? Because New Yorkers are on the go. So Roshell, we love you for that. We also have Suga Ray, who I think should have a regular segment on Pix 11 News because he's been on our show and the 5 o'clock news so many times. He actually raised, $11,000 to get space heaters for cold families. And right now, it couldn't be more timely because we are freezing in our apartments. So many New Yorkers are. And then we have Danielle. Danielle, your hair looks great. She's gorgeous. She's a local woman who is making a huge difference by creating these amazing murals for local businesses. And one city leader said that she's really one of the main reasons why Coney Island will be coming back so strong. But first, and actually, let's hear from all of them. Let's hear from Roshell first, our mom that's feeding families on buses. Tell me about that, Roshell.
Well, thank you for having me here this evening with some remarkable people. I'm kind of feeling so privileged right now. Well, Pink Lily is the name of my organization. Pink Lily is a Black woman-led, Brooklyn-based nonprofit organization committed to uplifting and empowering single mothers, young girls, and the communities they live in and care about. A big part of our mission is connecting families with the information, opportunities, services, and support they need to empower themselves and their community. So a part of that is our mission to feed. A lot of times, because of work, people might not be able to get to food pantries. So why not us go to them? On their way home, we connect with them.
And, you know, seeing you in action is something. But Suga Ray, you have an organization called Transform America. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, man, Transform America. I mean, the mission is simple. Is examining America's systems, building on what works and changing what doesn't. And what that basically means is that if something is working for the people in any given neighborhood, let's keep it going. And if it's not working, then let's change it. Let's mess it up. Let's transform it. We're tired of reforms. We've tried to reform education. We've tried to reform the prison system. We've tried to reform so much, but now it's time to transform it to make it something completely new. And we do that by giving power back to the people in their neighborhood so that they have control and autonomy over how they live and what resources come in and how they're dispersed.
I love that. Later on, you're going to talk a little bit about how you think NYCHA residents should own their own homes, run NYCHA themselves. That's a really interesting concept that we kind of left out of the TV story we get to do here on Facebook. And Danielle, I mean, you're just an incredible artist. When people see your art, they just know it's you. You had so many fans. You were like a rock star out there on the boardwalk. Tell me a little bit about why you're doing this for local businesses during COVID.
Well, I think it's, first of all, I'm a born and raised Brooklynite mural painter, artist, and I try to do my best to work with as many local businesses, grassroots organizations, and community-based organizations to just try to get their message out there and try to do something positive for every single neighborhood and community. And I feel like a lot of local businesses, restaurants, stores were hit so hard because of the pandemic and couldn't really open. So if their gates are closed, if they're shuttered, like if there's even just a little bit of art or a positive message to just remind people that these businesses are still here and that they are going to open back up very, very soon, and we should all support.
So important. And, you know, talking about moms and feeding our community, you got to see Roshell in action and the women in her group that are just unbelievable. Sheroes is what I call them. Take a look.
A group of women turned a local bus stop into a place for much-needed grab-and-go bags of food, and it's making a huge difference in one Brooklyn neighborhood. Morning, morning. They only have a few minutes to board the bus and give out food.
We sisters working together to help our community.
It's really women helping women. Yes. They're a team of moms on a mission to fight hunger in their neighborhood. It's a pantry on the go in East Flatbush that started by chance. These women all part of an organization called Pink Lily, and they provide hundreds of bags of food each week. They set up near the B44 bus stop on Nostrand Avenue, and many of the families can't get off the bus, so they decided they would get on.
Instead of them getting off the bus and having to pay another fare, we just go on the bus. We're not holding up the bus. You know, we make sure we get off. We have our little system going.
These women also partner with local businesses like On the Venue Brooklyn. Inside, there are coats, masks, and hand sanitizer to give away.
But at the end of the day, we are moms, right? And we know what it is like to provide for our family.
Roshell Powdar is the group's founder, a college student, and single mother of 3. Powdar says she knows firsthand what it's like to be hungry and the shame attached to it. So this is her way of giving back.
Shout out to B44 bus drivers on Marston Avenue line.
And their goal is to inspire others to do the exact same thing in their neighborhoods. In the meantime, Pink Lily needs volunteers and donations. If you'd like to give, just go to my Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Monica Morales TV. In East Flatbush, Monica Morales, 611 News.
Oh my gosh, Roshell, remember that day we did that chant, like, go bus drivers? We did it like 12 times, but it was the first take that I actually used on television because you guys are so in sync. You're such a great group, and we just love you to pieces. You guys are doing incredible work. Sugar Ray, you know, going on to the heat, a lot of people watching us right now don't have heat in their homes. Tomorrow we're going to be going to several developments. We do it every year. This is a serious problem that you decided, you know what, I'm sick of waiting for the city to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. You know, I spoke with a friend this morning. Number one, we had a flood in Queensbridge, and people have no water. So now I spoke to this friend. He has no heat already in his apartment. You know, now he has no water. It's insane. And I mean, it's time, and it's been time that we like. NYCHA is the worst landlord in the country, and they should no longer be able to manage, you know, the residents' property because they're doing a terrible job all across the city. And so what we're saying is that, number one, residents, when their services are not being met, they have a legal right to withhold their rent, go on a rent strike. But also deeper than that is we should become the management. There's a legal structure called Resident Management Corporations that allows the residents of any public housing neighborhood to form a legal institution, legal organization, and then they become the management, and they work directly with HUD to get all of the services met on budget, on repairs, and security, and all of that stuff. So it's time to move forward and, again, put power back into the hands of the people with the most at stake.
Well, Sugar Ray, I believe in you because you decide to do something, and then you take action, and then you raised $11,000 in less than a week. And that buys, what, 300 heaters for people who need it immediately. So that's an immediate fix that I mean, it's not the permanent fix. Can you talk to me a little bit about, you know, you were upset with me. I think it was on Instagram. You said you left out the part that's the big fix. What's the big fix? Tell me the big fix.
I mean, the big fix is what I just said, allowing the residents to become the management so that when there's an issue, I mean, number one, the big fix is to reinvest in public housing.
Yes.
One of the reasons why the heaters keep failing and when the water pipe broke today is because the system is old. They're using, you know, materials and supplies from 100 years ago, from 80, 90 years ago. And so they need to reinvest back into public housing, you know, so that's a fix. But in doing that, give the residents the autonomy to hire who they want and to get the authority to go in and fix the issues, whatever they may be, whether it's heat, whether it's hot water, whether it's broken glass, whether it's a broken, you know, elevator. We have the talent, we have the skill set. You know, people in NYCHA are skilled workers. So like, it's time to give us the power. It's time for us rather to take our power back. And the space heaters, we're actually going to start giving them out this weekend, this Sunday. We got 115 first round. We're going to give out Sunday morning in Queensbridge.
That is so cool. And you know, we have to be there, Sugar Ray. You're going to let me know exactly when, but you have a team that's behind you. We have to give a shout out to Astoria.
Astoria Mutual Aid Network.
Right? Can you say that?
Absolutely. They've been locked in with me for the last year. And this fundraiser wouldn't be as successful without Ariel Siegel and without the Astoria Mutual Aid Network locking arms and bringing that network in to support as well. So it's teamwork make the dream work. You know, Transform America is pretty much a group of people who are tired of the way things are and are saying, let's transform it. Let's do something different and take ownership. That's all we are, pretty much.
And if you don't have heat, we want to remind people, Elle and I have been doing this for so many years, where you reach out to us. You know how to reach out to us on Facebook. And of course, me, Monica@pix11.com. Just email me direct if you need to. And we're going to be, you know, bringing you the heat this year as well, just like we've done for 3 years straight. And Danielle, you know, we've done so many local business stories. But Coney Island, when we were out there on the boardwalk last week, it really looked like a ghost town. And it looks like that during the winter already, but it was just you and the seagulls, and it was freezing, and you were doing your art, and you were making all of these beautiful places. Just, I mean, not that they're not beautiful now, because Coney Island is beautiful, but you really make it something really special. And you're going above and beyond by bringing people back. I mean, what drives you to do that? What keeps you going, especially in a pandemic?
I think it really is doing public art. You have to understand that you are working with the public. You're working with the businesses that are hiring you and that you're helping and working with, but it really is the people of the community that pass by every single day. They have their routines. They go to the stores. They take a walk on the boardwalk. And they're the ones that really have to see this work every single day. And their opinions, the conversations that you have with them, when you hear, you know, how this has not just affected, you know, whoever you're working for, but also how it really has affected the entire community. I think what keeps me going is being able to connect with people. When you do public art, you're working with the public. So, you know, hearing people's stories and accounts, I kind of feel like that does go into a lot of my work, and especially a neighborhood like Coney Island, which I grew up so close to and my family is from. I really want to put as much love as I can into the pieces to maybe brighten up people's days if they're out of work, if they need somewhere to go, if they need to just walk by and have a destination to just get out of their house, especially in the pandemic, then I feel like I'm doing a little bit of public service. And also it gives people something to look forward to when the businesses do open up in the summer season, but also just in general, like when, you know, businesses are going to be able to open back up. So I hope that that's doing a little bit of a part to just help everybody in these neighborhoods.
Well, you know, I have a few more questions for you, Danielle. I don't want to, but I just want to say hi, Tito. And Tito wants to know if his mom can get a heater. So Sugar Ray, we might have to follow up with him. And Jason, how are you? Roberto, thanks for watching. Jan, everybody who's watching. Scarlett, oh, you have a lot of fans, Sugar Ray. I did not know. Everybody's saying, say hi to Sugar Ray. Back to you, Danielle. You know, I have a specific question for my producers. What inspires you and what kind of messages are in some of these murals? Which one's your favorite? Can you talk about one of them specifically?
Oh, in Coney Island or in
That's hard, right? Because you have a dozen. You have like one at the aquarium. That one was cool. It was like massive.
I would say that my favorite ones are the one that I did at the aquarium because it's a message about ocean plastics and ocean conservation and beach cleanup, which is super important for me coming from that neighborhood. Like the beach and the ocean and environmental issues is such a big thing to me. And just the experience of painting on the boardwalk the entire summer was incredible. But also I recently did a gate at Coney Island, USA for the Coney Island Alliance. And that piece covers almost the entire history, not the entire history, but a huge history of the old amusements, the old rides, the old stores that were there, neon lights, signs. And it's also important for me for my pieces to be educational. So if we can teach a little bit about the neighborhood, if it makes people ask questions like, what is that? Why is that there? Then they go back and they do a little bit of research on their own. Even if I'm painting a portrait, then I kind of think that my piece can maybe be educational and then also give people a little bit of a taste of the neighborhood that maybe they're not seeing right now, but just to teach them a little bit more of just where they live in the space that they're walking.
So beautiful. And you also have, there we are. I know I did a little Instagram. Look, that's what we're talking about there. We were on the boardwalk. It was freezing. Right, Danielle? And we were talking to council member Mark Traeger, who is a big fan of yours. I think you went to high school together. But he said, what you're doing is really helping. See, look what it looks like before and after. That's an amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that mural that you're painting now?
Well, when the weather gets a little bit warmer, I will continue. It's on pause. But it's another mural that's going to be dedicated to the history of the amusement area. And it's going to be the 3 original amusement parks of Coney Island that were there at the early part of the last century. So really what started Coney Island and put it on the map, it's going to be like an old black and white postcard. And each element is also going to be like historically accurate and tell the story. It's
really incredible to see the before and after, like what it looks like. And it's just you and the seagulls out there. Now I want to end with you guys. Sugar Ray, could you tell me, if someone's watching going, God, I wish I could be as cool as Sugar Ray. I wish I could do this in my community. Oh, we got Roshell back. Hi, Roshell. What do you tell people who want to do this? Like, if each one of you could just give a little bit of hope. We'll start with Sugar Ray.
I would tell people first, like, know yourself. Know who you are. Like, be authentic. Once you know yourself, then you be authentic with yourself first, and then you just share that as passionately as you possibly can with those around you, with whoever will listen. Tell them your dreams, tell them your hopes, tell them what you're pissed off about. Just like be on fire, and ultimately be passionate. But the key first is to like find your purpose, connect with your purpose, and then like live passionately, live full, connect with other people, realize that no matter how great you are, there's only so much you can do by yourself. So together we rise, connect with other people in your neighborhood who have the same concerns, the same issues, similar talents, and like just go full throttle with no fear, no inhibitions, and know that this is your community. So whatever you want to see happen, you have the obligation and the right to make it happen.
Ooh, I love that. Make it happen. That's my slogan. But Sugar Ray, can I add to just knowing you as your friend now is that what you do so effectively is use social media. Like your Instagram is hot. You do link with other organizations that are doing the exact same thing you're doing. But you also you feed families, yep. You're in a community garden, you have so many different projects all at once. So you're constantly thinking of new ideas. So I think that's your superpower, is that you come up with these new ideas and then you act upon them immediately. And then you use your social media savvy to make it happen. And oh, Jan, look at that. Okay, find your purpose. Thanks, Sugar Ray. Jan loves what you said. So I think she connected with that. Can we hear from Roshell? Is Roshell still with us? Roshell, I want to hear from you if you're here. What would you tell someone who wants to be like you and wants to start this these pantries on the go, this fast food?
I would tell them a lot like Sugar Ray just said, be authentic. It's about caring and it's about wanting the best for your community. So all you got to do is put your mind to it and work hard. The sky is the limit. Be non-judgmental and know that what you're doing is going to make a difference. Even if it makes a difference in one person's day, it will make a difference in someone's life.
And Roshell, I have to tell everyone, our audience, that another thing that you did, your superpower, is you're able to link senators, council members, because when I told them about you, they came out of nowhere. They were just like, it almost became like a press conference, and you really align with the city leaders in your neighborhood and make them see it as being just as important, because your passion is so contagious. Danielle, same question.
I would tell anyone who wants to kind of go on this path is, number one, study your idols and your heroes, and especially with social media now, reach out to them, ask questions. If it is art that you want to pursue, I always say, study it, know the history, know who came before you, know who your peers are, be friends with your peers. Always become friends with all of your peers, and especially you want to just become an expert in your craft, refine your craft, do whatever you can to become the best that you can at your craft, because no matter what people want to say, they can never argue with pure, raw talent. And that can go for writing, it can go for music, it can go for photography, it can go for public speaking. It can be, make sure you become as good as you can at your craft, but also always keep learning. You are never going to reach like the highest. There's always more. So I feel like people can never argue with that, and people will always respect talent and work and dedication. And if you want to do work in your community, really hit the ground running and talk to your business owners, become friends with them, like find out what they need from you, utilize social media to do that, even if it's just like quick promotions. I just think that if you really just have good communication, then you can just start from there.
Speaking of talent, Elle's here, my producer. Elle, what are people saying?
Yeah, I just see so many great comments for you guys, and I wanted to show some of the shout outs we're getting. So Joanne says you guys are New York strong. Laura says congratulations to you all, and thank you for what you guys do. It feels like a lot of times it's a thankless job, so she just says a big thank you. Drew says keep up the great work. Jan says, Sugar Ray, thank you for saying find your purpose. Needed that. A lot of people just saying congrats. Jason says that art and the murals are so beautiful. And Robert says you're a fantastic artist, Danielle. And people are really just inspiring one another, I think, through these comments. Roberto says this is so positive, and hopefully you guys can all continue to be examples to others. Just thought it was a perfect way to end.
So awesome. And thanks everybody for joining us and being a change maker in your neighborhood. If you're making it happen, you know someone, you can always let us know. We could do a story. But we are always making it happen. And we're going to be on the Heat Beat tomorrow. So if you don't have heat, you can also reach out to us. We're making it happen. Always at 5 o'clock, Pix 11.